Hey friends, I know it's a weird way to start the year, so I'm gonna do my best to introduce myself and sort of give you an opportunity to hear a little bit about me before we start class, and then we'll go through the syllabus and we'll talk about what exactly are the important details in a syllabus, and if you don't know what one is, what's a syllabus. And then when you come to class on Monday or Tuesday, whichever day I see you, the first thing we'll do is we'll take a short quiz on the syllabus and the important information in it. So that's that. A little bit about me. I am your math teacher for a diploma program. And whether your diploma program or career program, it doesn't matter. My class is a class for everyone. I have been teaching at Sage almost since the first year. I started the second year at Sage. And so I've been here for, I think, 10 years now. Since some of you guys were like, I don't know, in first grade, second grade, that's crazy. And I have a little girl, and her name is Jo, and she's in first grade here. And so she shows up in my classroom a lot. If we were here in school, you would see her, but right now you probably haven't. I know it's a bummer. I wish we could do things different, but for now, we're going to do our best to get to know each other and forge some relationships as best we can in this new online environment. And I'm going to do my best to help you learn and get through the IB and be as supportive as I can given the situation. So let's go through the syllabus. And then when we start class, first time I see you this week, we will review sort of the details. I'll do it as a quiz to make sure that you understand what exactly the key components are, and to check and see if you're doing your homework, because it'll be checked every day. So let's get going. Boop. So you are either taking this class at a standard level, or maybe you're taking it at a higher level. My students that are 11th graders, most of them will be taking this at standard level for this particular grouping, if this is the first time you've seen this. And then 10th graders, at this point in time, you're on the pathway to go into HL, higher level. This curriculum is almost brand new. This is the second year I've taught it. So I've never actually taught the second year of this material, but you guys at least get the second go around of the first year. It's new to IB, and this one of the two options is called Applications and Interpretations. And the reason I picked this one is because it's more about how do we use math in our lives, what's important about it. There's a whole bunch of stuff on financial literacy and where we see it in the world. The questions are more application oriented. And the other thing that's great about it is it's super tech heavy. So if you have struggled with algebraic operations and graphing and things like that in the past, this content is very technologically driven. And so it's super important that you have a calculator, which we'll get to, and that you understand the importance of this calculator and how it really is going to help you to be successful in this class. So for those of you who are just beginning, normally this is a 2-year course. For my 10th graders, we're considering this like a pre-DP year 1 sort of course. And so technically you will be in DP when you come back as a junior next year. For 11th graders, this is the beginning of a 2-year course. And I know it's different, right? We're starting this year with this different mindset, but normally when you guys come into a class like this, we really hit our 11th graders hard. We try to set the tone on how much homework there's going to be and things like that. Now, given the situation, we have to make do with what we can and try not to break your back over this first 4 weeks. But we're kind of doing a soft start into the year with these different structures. And so I'll only see you twice a week for 45 minutes if you're SL. If you're HL, I will also see you once a week for Wheelhouse. So make sure to check and see which wheelhouse you're in, whether you're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for my HL kids. So HL kids, I'll actually get to see you 3 times. When you're done with this big 2-year course, you're gonna sit down and you'll take an exam. And it's a timed exam. You get, I think it's 90 minutes in this new structure. And there's two tests, two 90-minute tests, and those two tests comprise 80% of your overall score for IB. And so what they're going to do is they'll take that test, we'll put it in an envelope, we mail it away, they grade it, and we cross our fingers that hopefully you did as well as you could. There's an additional component that is the internal assessment, which we will go over in your senior year, junior year for some of you guys. For those of you guys who are also HL students, since we will have that additional class period, there's also additional homework. There's just more content. And to sort of reward you or compensate you for all of your extra time and the difficulty associated with the extra HL content, this class will be weighted for you as an HL class. For my juniors, this class is weighted as an SL class. So this class is a weighted class. And in order to see how those weightings go across, you need to look to the transcript office, but the two courses are weighted differently. So you receive, like, I think a full push up in points if you're HL and a half point push up in SL. So check that out, see what that looks like. So in that wheelhouse for HL kids, we will maybe be doing some sort of like stretches for regular class, but also we may just be doing a whole nother content, a whole nother series of learning targets. So you might get an extra unit over a month or something like that. Okay. This course is absolutely comprehensive. So that means that every day, every assignment, every test, every quiz is going to include anything we've done. So that means if we cover something on day one of class, and it's the last day of class on your senior year, that content's fair game. I might pull a quiz question that's from the very first thing we ever did, or I might pull a quiz question from the day before. So the content is comprehensive. Tests are usually 70-30, kind of depending on where it is. The first test will be all new material to you, obviously, because it's all new. But as we move forward, there'll be like 70% new material-ish on a test and 30% old material. And so you'll always be coming back and being tested on that old material. The tests are written in an IB style, so the questions are going to feel very different than they ever have. So we're also going to be learning how to be reading IB questions and analyzing IB questions. So I'm going to teach you how to be an IB test taker too. Expectations, I need you, if it were a regular class period, I need you to show up, be on time, work hard. I need your screen on in this situation. I need to be able to see your face, because my ability to look in at your face and kind of see how you're processing and ask you questions, things like that, it really helps me to have a better idea of how you're understanding things. So we're going to work from bell to bell, basically. So for us right now, 45-minute periods where we show up, we get after it. We're going to work that whole time. I need you to be on task every minute of the period. In most cases, there'll be homework. If we come back to a regular building, whether it's hybrid or whatever the case may be, there's going to be an element of homework every night. For right now, my initial plan is that your homework won't be post-lesson, it'll be pre-lesson. So what you'll get before every lesson is a short video, like a 15-minute video of content. So it'll be a lecture. And the expectation is that you will take notes on whatever it is that I went over in that. If there's a fill-in-the-blank notes that goes with it, I will do my best to get those kind of rolling out ahead. But if there's not, you just need to be responsible for taking notes on the content. Then I will check when we come to class, did you do the homework? Whether that's just a brief entry ticket, whether it's a quick quiz on whatever the homework is, whether it's knowing a vocabulary word from the video or something like that. It's going to be something short, and that's how I'm going to check whether you did your homework or not. So that's going to be the way in which I know, did you understand the content? So it's really important for you to do that homework, pre-work homework, those videos before you come to class. Otherwise, you're going to be so lost and you're going to be so miserable. So don't do that to yourself. Do the pre-work, okay? Normally we would start with a timed quiz that's over old IB questions. We'll see kind of where that lays out. The benefit of doing the lecture in a video before you come to class is that we have time during class to talk about questions that are more IB centric, play some Kahoots, play some games, do some practice questions, talk about the math. It gives us more time to talk about the content in a discussion format. And then I don't have to lecture to you about terminology or vocabulary or whatever the case may be. You guys have to remember these are college classes at this point. So your expectation is to perform as a college student. That means you need to be ahead of the game and taking the notes and doing the work. Those daily quizzes that we have, whether it's over IB content or whatever the case may be, those are also not reassessable. Okay, there's just too many of them. I can't go back and have you reassess them. If we were in a normal class period and you were sick and absent and couldn't get here, I would just mark it an NA. You wouldn't even need to go back and do it, right? You either did it when you were there or you didn't, and we'll just keep moving. It's about getting ready for the big assessment, right? Again, if we were in class, if you're late for class and you miss like the first 3 minutes of the quiz, you don't get 3 more minutes because these quizzes are timed, right? If there's only 5 minutes for the quiz, you're 3 minutes late, you only get 2 minutes. So be on time, just show up on time, okay? And then the next thing you need to know is about unit assessments. Unit assessments are a huge chunk of your grade because we are really, really, really focusing on how to take a test, because the end goal is a test, which, you know, is a bummer. We're going to learn a ton of content, but for you guys are, you know, you want college credit, so you want to learn how to do well on these sorts of things. All of the tests are reassessable. It's not like of the test you can only reassess 2 or what, none of that. No, you may reassess every test if you've done the homework, right? You're showing up prepared every day, you're doing your best work every day, and you have completed the unit packet prior to the test day, okay? Those unit packets are infamous at this point, apparently, is what I hear. People like, even the other teachers like, oh God, I hear your unit packets are the worst. So I'm gonna show you a unit packet. Here is the one for the first unit we're gonna do. And if you look at it, it's 17 pages long, and it goes and it goes and it goes. And there's just questions and questions and questions and questions, right? And these are IB style questions. They're not actual questions from old exams. We will have some of those in the future that are longer. The calculus unit packet is like 50 pages long, but you get it on day 1 of the unit. And then if you kind of do a couple questions every day or 3 questions every day to kind of get ahead, it's not a big deal. What happens though for kids that procrastinate is they get to the end and they're like, oh no, I didn't do any of the unit packet. And then they're in huge trouble, because these are the questions, these style are going to help you most be prepared for the regular in-class exams. So the in-class exams will be very much like these unit packets. The questions will be more similar. So we will have little homework snippets and practice problems we do in class, but the unit packet is preparing you for how to read an IB question, okay? So don't let it get away from you. That is a consistent issue with kids. They think, oh, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. And then it's time and they're like, oh no, and now what? And what happens is they don't get a good score on it and they lose the opportunity to reassess. So don't do that, okay? The tests are hard. They're really hard and kind of can be a little bit of a reality check when you first do your first one, because you're just, you know, you're learning so many things. You're learning about how to do a test from the IB, and you don't want to miss out on your opportunity to reassess because you were being a slacker. So put in the work, okay? Let's go back to my syllabus. So unit packets. There's one huge paper. It's your internal assessment. It counts for 20% of your overall IB score. It's research-based. It can be on any math topic that you want to write about. It's super open. We will talk a ton about it when the time comes, but it happens during our senior year. Some kids will do calculus, some will do research, some will do statistics, anything you want. Like I had one last year on the movie Interstellar and whether the math in Interstellar like worked out like compared to the true physics. Super interesting, okay? So it's wide open. Let's see. Required materials. What do you need? Well, bring to class with you each day your homework, which basically means be prepared, whether that's I took the notes for the video the day before. You should have some paper, some graph paper to take notes. Normally we would have a big 3-ring binder that we would be keeping everything. We're going to start doing pickup days here at Sage where you can pick up your unit packet, if I have fill in the blank notes for you, if I have homework I need you to do that needs printed for some reason. Okay, I'm going to have those things ready for you and you're going to hole punch those, put them in your 3-ring binder. This is a 2, for some of you, 3-year coursework. Get the biggest 3-ring binder you can afford, right? Like that big, because kids fill it up, right? In 3 years, we're going to do a lot of math. Your new best friend, your DP formula packet. I know I skipped calculator. I'm going to come back to it. Your DP formula packet is this sheet of paper, and it has all the formulas that DP wants you to know backwards and forwards. And I will print the first copy for you, and I will probably even print a second copy for you. And then I will also give you a digital version, okay? But you can use that DP formula packet on tests, on quizzes, on the actual exam. They'll give you a fresh copy for the actual exam, but it's the same thing, right? So we call it our new best friend, our DP formula packet. And then like normal things, pins, pencils, colored pencils, if you will do. The calculator thing. If you were careful, I hope you did, and bought one at the end of school last year when we sent that note out from Dr. Hansen, you're lucky, right? Because the closer we get to the start of school, the higher the price goes up on the TI Inspires. And I'm sorry if you decided to wait. That's a really big bummer. I was looking at them here. This one's renewed for 122, but like a brand new one. Don't get the cast, get a CX, right? And this one's 150, right? Like they're expensive. I get it. I totally get it. Some of the workarounds I've seen kids do is Facebook Marketplace. I see them all the time on Facebook Marketplace. I see them on Craigslist. And the other place I see them is eBay. So here are some on eBay that are, like this one is $60. It's possible when you buy these things that you might have to buy a new rechargeable battery for it. This one is $60. This one's $100. This one's $83. So even just small kind of looking around makes a huge difference, right? This one is $127 and it's buy it now. So it's still like almost $20 cheaper than the brand new ones on Amazon. So don't just buy one on Amazon, shop around. I really hope you took the time to buy it earlier because, you know, just like a couple months ago, they were only $100 brand new. I don't know if you have to wait to get one at a cheaper price, but I would definitely go eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. And then I have some in the classroom that you can check out. Unfortunately, I don't have that many, right? And so these calculators that are school calculators are checked out to our kids that need them most, that really struggle financially with them. Mrs. Conkle will check it out to you. It'll be tied to your account. If you don't return it, you don't graduate, right? Like it's a big deal. The other thing is if you break it when it's in your possession, you have to buy a new one anyways. So watch out for that. Normally it would be a check-in, check-out kind of thing if we were in a regular classroom, but because of the situation, it's just going to be checked out for you for the time being. This is a really old one right here. So this one's old. It's not color. It's not, you know, it's not fancy like some of these ones are, but it gets the job done. It does all the math I need to do. It's not as pretty. And then it has batteries instead of a regular, like a rechargeable battery that are more like a little brick. So this guy just runs on regular batteries. And I will spend time almost every day that we have together teaching you how to do something on these calculators. So you need to get one ASAP, right? That's why I sent the email at the end of school to hopefully that you got it. So yeah, shop around. That's the message. Then let's see what else we need to talk about. Grading. This is how this is how I set up my classroom. So you can see all of the different components. I would look at these numbers. This is definitely something that could show up on a quiz. Hint, hint. These are our general test scores. It's around this. So if you get below a 50 percentage, it's a 1. So it's percentage based because that's how IB does their testing. We will use old IB questions and then I run them on an IB rubric. The goal here is to help you prepare to take an IB exam. Content. So the first thing we're going to cover here when we come back to school is number and algebra, and this will be year 1. We're going to do sequences as series, exponents. We don't do binomial theorem anymore. Systems of equations, amortization, which is like financial literacy. And then if you're an HL, we'll also do log laws, some logs over here, not as much. Complex numbers, that'll be pushed, that'll be a long-term unit that we'll get into later. Polar numbers, phase shifts, but this is where we're gonna start our year, right here. Anything in this that is highlighted in yellow will be HL during your senior year. Okay, so like matrices, eigenvectors, that'll all be as a senior HL student. We won't see those for 2 more years. So we're gonna try to do a lot of content here as we go through. The first thing we'll do is number and algebra, then we'll go into functions and equations, then we'll go to trig and geometry, and that's as far as we got last year given the pandemic situation. My goal was to get into statistics here, but we'll see how the year pans out, okay? So then there's year 2 content, which is the remaining statistics, and then calculus. Everybody does calculus. SL kids do calculus. HL kids do calculus. We're all doing the calculus, okay? But you know what makes it easier? This bad boy right here, okay? It's gonna make your life way, way, way easier. I need you to understand the principles. You don't have to be an algebra genius if you have access to the technology. So when I say it's important, I mean it's key, okay? And then the last things we'll do is the internal assessment. And that is my syllabus. So I am so excited to see your faces on Monday or Tuesday, whichever group you're in. And we'll start with this syllabus. And we'll be taking a quiz to ensure that you watch my really long video. I apologize for how long it is. But I'm really excited to get to be your teacher for the next 2 or 3 years. And I will see you this Monday or Tuesday. Bye.